Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome to the road trip for the FA Cup final today at Wembley. The sun is shining, the skies are blue, the weather is warm. It's time for the big game, man. And you know what? In the lead up to this game, of course, with everything that's been going on with Eric, we've hardly spoken about the game. The future of the manager, the future of Eric Ten Hag, and Ineos's decisions that they may or may not make have overshadowed this final. And it's not good. It is not good. And this is, this is the biggest game of our season, and we're not talking about the game. And I'm not criticizing everybody for doing that. We've been part of that because we've been forced to. And a lot of people have been annoyed by that. And when you look at how bad the timing is of what's happened with all these leaks getting out with Eric, this is not ideal preparation. And it's not until you wake up now on game day and you start getting your head into game mode, which obviously we wanted to do a long time ago, but we haven't been able to with all of this news. You're like, Man City on the other side of this. Man City on the other side of this. Best team in the world. All their players ready to go. Fresh off winning the Premier League last week. Easy preparations. And you just forget. You just think all of this in-house fighting's going on at Man United, and you just forget Foden. You just forget Haaland. You just forget De Bruyne, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, etc., etc., etc. But we have to believe we can win this thing, man. Before I get into the real breakdown of the game, please do go and check out me and KG's 4-month health challenge. Okay, that video is brought to you by Oxford Natural. It's a really good setup that we've got there. It's a really good thing that we're trying to do. A lot of you had great comments as well on the first video that's gone out. We'll keep you guys updated along the way. All the information you need for that on our 4-month health challenge is in there as well. So do take a look at that and smash a like on this video and subscribe to this channel, obviously, if you are new. Right, forget about the noise, the noises, forget about it. I think we're going to see some surprises. I think we're going to see some surprises in this team lineup. Let's talk about this game now. The big one is the Rashford situation. What does he do with Rashford? Does he start him? Does he think he can respond from, what's happened to him this season, how he's been in the last few weeks, not getting into the England squad? It's at an all-time low for Rashford. We cannot get away from that. What's he going to do with Rashford? What's he going to do in terms of the formation? We've seen him sort of play a 4-4-2 off the ball in the last couple of games, or just a 4-4-2 in general. We've seen us go more compact, more pragmatic. We've seen us sit off opponents a little bit more, be a little bit more cautious on the ball, which is absolutely what we should be doing. So I would be stunned if he just goes back to a 4-2-3-1 and goes back to type. And also, I know I said I'm not going to talk about all the noise that's been happening, but it does kind of go into this in terms of he needs to pick players he can trust. This could be Ten Hag's last game at United. He needs to pick players that he can trust will run for a fucking brick wall for him. Sorry to swear so early in the morning, but the passion's coming through, guys. It's cup final day. I'm feeling it now. All of the streams, all of the stuff we've been talking about, it's all out the window. It's cup final day. And when the weather hits nice at the end of the season in May and you're in the cup final like we were last year, it just hits different. But I don't think Rashford's going to start, guys. I just don't know. I don't think he believes he can get a reaction out of him. And I just think we're going to see some other things. There's been some reports online that Casemiro may not start as well. We've got some information at United View that Casemiro won't start as well. So we'll have to look at that. We've also had a bit of information that Rashford won't start, and maybe a little bit of information out there that maybe you could see something different with Bruno. Watch this space, not playing where he normally plays, and maybe Rasmus back in. And look out for Amrabat is what I will say. But because we've got a little bit of noise there that he may be getting a start. So I think there's murmurs, there's rumours, there's little bits of info going about that, we're going to see something slightly different. The back four, I think, will be the back four. I just think he has to go compact. The best way to have a chance against Manchester City is to sit in compact and hit them on a counter-attack. It is as simple as that. There's no other way. Don't get me wrong, the Liverpool teams of yesteryear and, the Arsenal teams of now and even Liverpool now, to be fair, it's weird. Those types of teams, they have the abilities to sort of go at City. And look, if you've got the tools to do it, you've got the tactical setup to do it, you have the know-how to do it, absolutely, you should. But like we keep saying with Real Madrid, They went to the Etihad and look how they played. And look, when we went to the Etihad, we were winning for a large period, went in 1-0 up. And we held them off until about 70 minutes. But the problem is, if you sit in and you don't show enough, they just keep coming and coming and coming, and then it's an onslaught, and you ain't keeping a clean sheet against City. It doesn't hardly ever happens, really. Even though Real Madrid managed to take it to penalties like they did in the Champions League. And look, I don't want to be pessimistic, but that's going to be our best bet. Like, we have to be locked in. We have to put maximum effort in. You can't make stupid mistakes. You can't give the ball away in stupid areas. And you have to be super clinical. Rasmus Højlund has spoken about it on the lead up to this game, and that, you know, he's been on the bench the last couple of games, but has also spoke about it's been nice to have fresh legs coming in. The Ahmad situation on the right-hand side, I can't see it. I really hope I do, but I don't think Ten Hag's gonna play him. I really don't. I think he's going to go, like, try and pack out the midfield with players that are going to work hard. And I'm not saying Ahmad won't, because I think he will work hard, but I just think he's going to go more conservative than that. I don't think he's going to go that inexperienced with Garnacho on the left and Ahmad on the right. That's almost young, fearless, vibrant, front foot, go for it, you know, and I don't think he's going to do that. I think he's going to be even more conservative than that. I still do think we'll see that 4-4-2. With this situation with Casemiro, I think is interesting with him potentially not starting. If he doesn't, I would make that Amrabat, Mainu, and then I think he'd go McTominay in the 10, Bruno on the right, Rasmus back up front. But that's a risk. That is a risk, because then to play the 4-4-2 with Kobe, Amrabat and McTominay in midfield and maybe Bruno on the right, I think to play a 4-4-2 with that is harder, because you're basically taking a midfielder out of the midfield, ironically, and saying play up front with Rasmus when we haven't got the ball, make a 4-4-2 with Kobe and Amrabat just behind that. It can work, because McTominay can be that hybrid 9/10. That's what he can do. As long as he's not involved in build-up and playing deep, it's not that bad. And I just think that would be, you know, with the way Amrabat's been playing, it would be a surprise, though. You know, he is more smarter on the ball. He is more mobile than Casemiro, just. Because 6-1, half a dozen another with the mobility. Sometimes Amrabat can get absolute skin. But I would still say Amrabat's just about more mobile than Casemiro. But in terms of big games, cup final, know-how, been there, done it, you'd surely start Casemiro. You would. But, you know, he hasn't been playing the best, but at centre-back last couple of games, he's done much better. Now, you know, the back end of Brighton, he got moved back into midfield. I think it'll be a massive kick in the teeth, obviously, for Casemiro to not be starting as well, in what could be his last game at United too. So, listen, I'm going into it. Look, we're not expected to win, but I'm going in there with the belief that we can. Otherwise, what's the point in me getting in this car and driving down to Wembley? There's no flipping point. It's the last game of the season. Go and win this, boys. Go and show some passion. Go and, if it is going to be Eric's last game, go and run your backsides off, because I tell you what, half of them players there, more than half, have contributed to him getting sacked in the first place, if that is what's going to happen. Of course, it's a results-based business, but at least send Eric out on a high. And you know what? There's so many reports saying that Eric knew this was going to happen, or some saying that he's surprised, maybe he didn't. I don't know what's true, but you do feel it for Eric in terms of if he does go, I do think it's more of a victim of not being aligned with what Ineos want to put down, because he hasn't just gone from a decent, good front thinking coach, right? Front foot coach, right? Attractive coach on his way up in the game to all of a sudden now in 18 months, he's shit. He's rubbish. If Eric Ten Hag leaves Man United, he will be successful somewhere else. He will. I'm convinced of it. He will. He's not a disgusting, awful, terrible manager like some people make out. But I understand that Ineos want to bring in their guy and they might make this change. But with all of that said and done, you players, give the fans something. Put it all in. There's a great piece by Bruno in the Players Tribune. I did really like that piece. But he gets it. More players need to follow that. Leave it all out there on the pitch. Of course, you can lose to City on any given Sunday. Any given day, you can lose to Manchester City. They're the best team in the land. But they're not invincible, okay? They're not human beings. You know what I mean? They are human beings. It's 11 v 11. Fucking go for it, boys. Let's go and win this thing, man. Just believe. We could easily get battered 3 or 4-0 and lose very comfortably. Or you never know, we can pull up what would be a massive shock in this Manchester derby. Let's go for it, guys. Smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Owen will be live for the pre-match stuff. I'll be at Old Trafford. Let's make it like Old Trafford. I'll be at Wembley for all the match reaction and everything else after that. Hopefully with another trophy in the bag. Take care, guys. Peace. Come on, United.